will want, as you see, we will download MATLAB. Okay. One of you asked about MATLAB or Python. At the first, in this subsection, I said we will run it with MATLAB. But at the end, we will arrive it. At the end, we will run it in Python. We want to familiar with both of them, MATLAB and Python. The first and the last one with Python. I will say which of them with MATLAB, which of them will. And another major and essential in this field is clustering and classification. You know, in the machine learning, for example, after we have data, we have extract the feature. I will write it with the mouse. Then my writing is not so nice. Okay, we have feature extraction. After that, we have classification. Then we have many for feature extraction, and after that we have many algorithms for clustering and classification. Okay, like I don't know, like support with much tree classification trees and random forest, and introduce top 10 algorithms in data mining. Okay, this is till this topic. After we finish this topic, we will start a new field, neural networks and deep learning. From here, they are in Python. After introduction about neural networks and deep learning, we will talk in Python. I will send this file in LMS, and then after that you can see the details of our content course, step by step. You yourself can see it. Okay, and if we have time, we can see and we will see applications of analysis in this field. For example, music genre identification, oscillating mass and dimensionality reduction, image denoising, through filtering and diffusion, analyzing music scores, and the Gabor transform. We will see the application using this algorithm. Okay, and another thing in this file, if you pay attention, write parentheses, for example, A, C. Okay, A is the reference that I named it A. For example, this is your references. A is about the machine learning reference. B is about data-driven analysis. I will send them for you in LMS. Okay? Don't worry about it. Oh, sorry. And another thing in parentheses is for myself. S1 is session 1, S2 is session 2, and maybe I erase it. This is for myself. Then when you want to study these subsections, if you want to study time frequency analysis, you must refer to C. Reference C here, and then in part C, part 3, 30. Okay, here you see time analysis. Okay. Besides the I also prepared PowerPoint. PowerPoint is here. Again, I must say that I will also the PowerPoint for you. The PowerPoint is the abstract. For example, this is about computational methods for data analysis, and it is about the time frequency. This is the abstract of this SC reference. Then you have the reference, you have the PowerPoint, and beside all of them, you also see again the our online video in Adobe. And anyway, if you have any question, you must and you can ask me in Telegram in our online Adobe classes. Surely I will send them. One of your students said please send the PDF. I will send all of them for you. Don't worry about it, you need it. Because I want all same reference, have the same PDF, then I will send them that we use these references. Okay. Another thing that I must say about the evaluation. About the evaluation, I must Iranian classes. I don't say the evaluation, my evaluation in the first session. After, I don't know, 5, 6 sessions, after I see your feedback, I know and I will familiar with you. After all of them, I decide to evaluate you. No, my screen is shared. My screen is shared, but it is in Adobe. It is not our lesson. It is in Adobe. Okay. Then please let me wait to get your feedback about this lesson, about our relationship, and then I will say how I evaluate you in this course. Actually, I think about it. Maybe I introduce some projects for you, or maybe I ask some questions as a quiz in LMS. Like this is not a very difficult way, but the exact evaluation system is not clear here, and at this time I will say. Okay, if you have any question about the content, about the evaluation, about our class, please ask. Please ask me. If you want to know something about our course, Okay. If you don't have any question, we will start the course. As you see in the content, our first session is about the fundamental of machine learning. We want to see what is machine learning. I'm sure that you hear about machine learning. I'm sure. But we want to review it, and step by step we want to familiar with machine learning algorithms and topics in this field. The goal of this course is that you will familiar with, for example, if you want to run a pattern recognition project, you must know what is, for example, feature extraction, what is classification, what is the method like this. What is, for example, one of method for classification is deep learning. One method for feature extraction is neural network. The total goal is this. Okay. Now we want to know what is machine learning. As you know, when we want to analyze data, we have different methods. Okay, we have different methods for signal processing. We have different methods for image processing. We have different methods for data mining. Okay, machine learning is the science and art. Is the science of programming computer from data. For example, if we have data like this, cross, triangular, squares, circle, we have all the types this. For example, we want to program computers, for example, to classify cross from triangle. How to write code to distinguish these objects. Okay, this is the science of learning. For example, they have many different definitions in this field. For example, one definition is machine learning is that it gives computer the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. What is this? We will familiar with this definition in next slides. Okay. In traditional programming techniques, for example, if we want to diagnose or to recognize a spam email, okay, we using traditional programming technique. At first, we must know what is the spam email, what is the content of spam emails, what words we see in the spam email. We define these words. For example, if we see for you, if we see credit card, if we see free, we see amazing, if we see these words, these phrases, then this email is spam. Okay? Then we know the problem. We know the problem. Our problem here is distinguishing these worst emails. And then after that, we write rules. We write rules to distinguish these words. Any rules. At this moment, we don't want to know what is the rules, but we know there are many different rules. Anyway, after we know the problems, we write rules to solve this problem. And then after that, we evaluate it. After evaluation, if we can recognize for you credit cards, Fury, and Amazing, if we can recognize these words, then we must be so happy. Okay? But if after our evaluation we don't be successful, we have some errors, then we must analyze this and also consider the problem, and then we, for example, update our rules. Okay, we ourselves must do it. We ourselves must study the problem again and analyze errors. Maybe they are automatic or semi-automatic, okay, or non-automatic. We supervising this progress. This is related. This progress, these steps is related to traditional programming techniques. Okay. And at this moment, we want to know if we use machine learning algorithm, what is the advantages with compared with traditional programming. In machine learning, we have data. Okay, we must have data because the definition of machine learning was programming computers to extract, to learn from data, Okay, then we must have data, and we must study the problem. For example, again, if we again consider the spam filter, we have a spam filter and we know what goes. Then we must train machine learning algorithms using our data and by considering the problem. Okay, and the machine learning algorithm train it and evaluate it. If it is okay, we will happy. If not, we will sad. But what is the differences between this diagram and the previous? For example, for this problem, machine learning techniques automatically learn which words and phrases are a good predictor of spam. In this diagram, all data is emails, and machine learning algorithm itself train and itself automatically learn about which words is related to spam emails. In these techniques, we don't exactly define, for example, for you credit card fee and like this is related to emails. They automatically learn, automatically extract these words. How? By using data with different algorithms. Moment, don't know the algorithm, but they have this facility. Machine learning algorithm have this facility to learn from the data what is the spam. As you see, it is so dependent to data. Okay? If you have any question, please ask. Miss Zahra, what is typical? Step by step, we will be familiar with it. We will a diagram. What is your question? I don't understand. Where? Okay. The character is that I repeat again and again. When I'm sure about you learn, I pass it. Okay, don't worry about it. Then another advantages of machine learning, if your data updated. For example, you have data, you have emails. For example, you have 100 emails. Okay? You have 100 emails. But after that, we have new emails. We have another 100 emails. In the traditional method, you again must see this first 100 emails, extract the words, and then write the code, evaluate it. Okay? In machine learning, but if you have new data, you add new data to the previous data, because the machine learning learn and train about the first 100 emails, then we are not worried about the new ones, because the machine learning algorithm learn and train with the first data. It is the advantages of this machine learning algorithm. Then our diagram again updated. If we have data, using the data, our machine learning algorithm train, and if we update the data, then we are not worried about it, because the machine learning algorithm can evaluate themselves, can observe automatically. For example, if we have neural network, deep neural network, we use one of our data for train, and the rest of data we can use them for test our algorithm. And this is the advantages of machine learning algorithms. Okay. Then if we summarize our machine learning, this is again about the advantages of machine learning. We are using the machine learning. We also can learn from it. For example, if the data related to spam email and the machine learning algorithm extract the spam emails, okay, we after the evaluation, after extract these spam emails, we can see the result, and we learn about the result. Then the machine learning algorithm can help us to learn about the problem. Okay, anyway, this is the size. This slide is the summary of our talking about machine learning. For example, problems for which existing solutions require a lot of fine-tuning or long list of rules in the traditional. But one machine learning algorithm can often simplify code and perform better than the traditional algorithm. We describe it. We know complex problems for which using a traditional approach yields no good solution, because they are complex problems, and maybe traditional are not good for them. But the best machine learning techniques can perhaps find a solution, because in the machine learning algorithm, our algorithm automatically see the data. We feed data machine learning. Then they themselves consider all the data without any error. We see the machine learning system can adopt the new data and getting insight about complex problem and large amount of data. If we have complex problem or large amount of data, machine learning is the best candidate to analyze them, because they automatically consider all the data without any human errors. Okay. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Okay. I must know my presentation is good, is clear for you, or no? Because this is my first experience. I must know. If you have any hint for doing the better presentation, I ask you to say me. Please say me about my presentation. If it is okay for you, we can continue. Okay. Okay. About the we have different types of machine learning system. We have supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, and reinforcement learning. We have these types of machine learning system. Again, step by step, we must a little familiar with these words. What is the supervised learning? What is the unsupervised learning? Okay. Supervised learning. What is the supervised? As you see in machine learning algorithms, we have data. We must learn, the machine learning must learn from the data. Okay. Then, for example, we must label data. Ourselves must label the data. For example, we must label this email is supervised, this email is this email is okay, this email is a spam email, this email spam. We must label each data, okay, and then we feed this data to the machine learning algorithm. Then, using this label, the algorithm learn and train what is spam, is not spam, and then after that, in the test, we feed the new email, and then set the algorithm. Okay, according your training step, you must evaluate this email. Okay, again, this email also label, but we must to know that this algorithm, this system recognize it correctly or not. Okay, if recognize it okay, then we don't have error. If we don't recognize well, we have error in our diagnosis. Then if our is high, we must think about why. What is the reason? And if our error is low, is okay. Our system is good. Okay. Another thing is in the supervised learning. If we have, for example, likely circle, okay, such as the price of car. This circle is the price of car, for example. Okay, and you see this arrow is related to feature, is the price of car, and this arrow is related to value. For example, the price of car, I don't know, one is another. Okay, and then after training, we access to this object, the access to the value of these features. And if we have the new feature, using the previous we predict it. It is the bottom figure is like the up figures, but the notation, the graphical is a little different. If you learn this the upper one, the lower is like the bottom. The context is similar. The context of supervised learning is that our data have labels. Okay, this is the important. But in unsupervised learning, any labels. We don't have any labels in our data. The machine learning algorithm automatically learn about the pattern of the data. They learn, okay, if they have this like of pattern, they are group, for example, 1. If the patterns are like another features, they are in group 2. But we don't say anything about this group. Maybe a human, maybe a human consider this data like this. Group 1, group 2. Okay? Maybe another person classify like this. In yellow. 1, 2. Maybe, I don't know, another person classify this data to like this. Group 1, group 2. Okay? But the machine learning algorithm, it's themselves decide how to classify the data. For example, they classify this data to 4 groups. How do they decide? It depends on algorithms. We don't know that algorithm. At this moment, we don't know. But by different algorithms, by different targets, by different purpose, maybe they classify the data to 4 groups. Okay. Then the data don't have any labels. This is unsupervised learning. According to the time, and I said about the semi-supervised, and then we will finish the course. Another algorithm is semi-supervised learning. What is the difference between them? Since labeling data is usually time consuming, and we must label, okay, this is triangle, then we label it like 1, 1, 1. This is a square, then we label it 2, 2, 2. Here is not infinite, but maybe we have large amount of data. Anyway, they may be time consuming and costly. We have our data. Some of our data have label, but some of our data don't have label. The triangle have label, but the circles don't have labels. The square here, the orange squares here is label, for example, 2, for example. But the circles around them don't have. And if we have a new object and we want to know the triangle or a square, then using similarity parameters, similarity evaluation, the machine learning algorithm decide it is triangle or it is a square. For example, if they have 3 angles, it is a triangle. If they have 4 angles, they are squares. You know, some of our data have label, some of them don't have it. Then it is semi-supervised. Semi-supervised is the mix of supervised and unsupervised. Okay. If you don't have questions according to our time, we finish here, and in the next session we will continue it. Okay, if our class time change, I will inform you in the Telegram group. Thanks so much for your time and listening to my presentation. I hope to have a good time and be successful. Thanks. If you don't have any question, we finish it. Thanks you. Thanks. Have good time. Goodbye. Thanks. Bye.